Hi there, this is Rob, and this is the 2-minute overnight overview for Thursday, August 30. Let's take a look at yesterday's odds sheet, and before we get into the numbers, I just want to point out a new feature on the odds sheet. You'll notice IWM's averages are highlighted in green. If an ETF or future meets the minimum of 55% profitable and leads to 1.3 profit factor, these columns will now be highlighted in green, suggesting a possible long trade. If numbers come in below 45% profitable and a profit factor of 0.91 or lower, it will be highlighted in orange, suggesting a possible short trade. This will hopefully make it easier to spot when there's a confluence of long or short signals. Despite IWM appearing in green yesterday, and it was an easy decision for me to stand aside. With 3 days of nearly flat action, the Edge Finder was not able to find anything compelling. And aside from IWM, everything else was about as flat as you can get. For ES, price action suggested a mild upside edge. Internals did as well, but seasonality was mixed. So the average column showed a percent profitable of just 54%, and the profit factor was basically break even at near 1. The other futures and ETFs all agreed that there was no substantial edge, so I stood aside, and it was a good thing I did based on last night's action. After closing at 1407.25, the market traded sideways for a few hours before dipping lower. It never recovered those gains and opened down 5 points. That isn't a huge overnight gap, but compared to what we've seen in the last couple of weeks, it seemed large. Let's look at the daily chart and a setup that could trigger there. When the S&P 500 closed up slightly yesterday, delayed selling left the EFs with a half-point loss. So, as I mentioned, today's gap down was large relative to recent action. I looked at other times the market closed down at least 4 days in a row, and this morning's overnight gap was the largest overnight drop of the last 4 days. I also required a close above the 200-day moving average, so this will trigger on a down close today. Let's look at results of past instances. Instances are low. It's only occurred 12 times before, but 11 of them gapped up, and the average overnight move was a 7-point gain. Here's the list of instances. As you can see, even the lone down gap only gapped down a half a point. So this suggests a possible upside edge for Thursday night. I'll look for more confirming evidence via the Edge Finder and the odds sheet before making any final decisions.